Hey Carl,
Yeah?
I'm ready.
You are?
Yes.
Alright, I'll get the cameras.
Hey, before you go, I need you to bring me the box.
Are you sure?
Don't worry, Carl. It'll be okay.
What is it?
My secret weapon, the one thing that'll help me win this god-awful challenge.
Is that a rubber band?
You hush your heretic tongue! Dang it. So close. We almost got that triple digit. Not only would that be a nice pretty number, but if we can get to 100 subscribers, YouTube will finally let me change the channel's URL. That means that sharing the channel will be much more aesthetically pleasing. No more wondering if the link to the channel is something no bueno. Now when you see the shared link, you know it's something no bueno. So help your grandmother and dog subscribe to the channel, would you? Also, stay tuned till the end of the video to hear which run we're doing next, and to hear all about the new resources I've got lined up for all you wonderful people. Alright, no more behind the scenes talk. We've got a special run today, thanks to all of you subscribing and supporting the channel. Can Sultan Sanctuary beat Sultan Sanctuary? Or in other words, can you beat Sultan Sanctuary as a pacifist? This is a weird one. Essentially, we're gonna have to create a character that absolutely abhors violence, and then stick him in the most violent locations he's ever been in. Should end well. Let's go over the rules. First, we aren't allowed to actively do any damage. No weapons, no consumables, nothing. We need a good, clean conscience by the end of this. Second, any and all equipment is allowed so long as we abide by rule number 1. And third, no cheating or exploits, with one small caveat. We are allowed to perform 4 long jumps, all of which are in very specific locations. I'll explain that in a minute. Alright, let's go over the build. This part is simple for once. As far as rings go, we'll collect the basic stat boosters and quality of life improvements. Endurance and stamina are going to be important on this run, so any rings that help with that should be prioritized, but other than that, pick your favorites. Charms are absolutely useless this run, so let's just skip that altogether and move on to the equipment, which, as far as I'm concerned, is the only part that really matters. First off, we have the Ashen Effigy Shield. You can find it in the Ziggurat of Dust, and the reason we are hunting this down is due to its special ability, Thorns. Essentially, whenever an enemy strikes our shield, it'll take some damage. Our conscientious objector can cower behind his shield as long as he has the stamina for it, and eventually our enemies will simply die from exhaustion. Not only this, but the shield has very high defense. With a few upgrades, the shield actually grants us 100% defense to strike, slash, arcane, and holy damage, with great resistance to the other elements as well. Additionally, we're going to also collect the Lamprey armor, found just after the False Jester. Most of the armor pieces in this set have the Thorn special ability as well, and it stacks with the shield, so hopefully this will speed up the run quite a bit. The only issue, as I'm sure you've noticed, is that all the armor and shields that we need are pretty far into the run. Not only this, but they are both tier 4 equipment, so we'll need a decent number of levels before we can even equip them. This is where Rule 3A comes into play, and it's easier to show you than to tell you, so let's just get into it, shall we? After picking a disgrace of a name, we set up our character. It was 4:30 in the morning, alright? It was funny when I was half asleep. Nothing fancy here, we're just picking the Paladin for the Mending Band and the Grasping Ring so that we don't have to grind so much. We skip the prologue, pick Devara's Light for the extra defense that our health potions give us, and sprint through the Festering Banquet. After jumping down, we sprint through Bandit's Pass and perform our first long jump right here. After dodging and weaving past all the Ember Skulls, we get to this ledge here and make our second long jump. Definitely killed the worm. Can I have my reward, please? After this, we do our third long jump, then sprint like mad through the Dome of the Forgotten and take our final leap. Now we just climb up into the Ziggurat, collect our shield, and warp back to the beginning. That wasn't so bad. What is bad, though, is the fact that the measly amount of salt bags and the single black pearl that we found are nowhere near enough to use it. So, down to the Village of Smiles for trap grinding we go. After what feels like an eternity, we reach level 16 and we can finally use the Ashen Effigy. Let's see what we're looking at as far as damage goes. Oh no. Well, grinding with this build isn't going to happen. Thankfully, we don't need many levels to make this build work, so we should be alright. Going up against the Sod Knight, we learn that the heavier the damage would have been, the more damage that gets reflected. It's nowhere near as much as I'd like, but at least we aren't going to be waiting for a boss to kill themselves by death of 1,000 cuts. Hopefully the damage continues to scale throughout the game as the bosses get beefier. Also, nice little tidbit here, despite the minimal damage getting through the shield, my Mending Band is actually able to heal my health as I lose it. This means that I can do my taxes while our secret weapon holds the block button, and still win 99 times out of 100. So there's that. You know, despite it taking forever for anything to die on my shield, it is kinda funny to watch enemies die from boredom. Reaching the 3's Sanctuary, we upgrade the shield to +2. Less damage getting through means better chances at an automatic win, which really helps when every boss battle will probably take upward of 10 minutes to complete. Heading down to the Queen of Smiles, we put up our shield and get to work. 1 damage again? Good God! Oh, okay, sometimes 4. Well, that's something at least. Something to note, when the Queen uses her Throne Sword attack, it doesn't hurt her. It's starting to look like the Thorns effect only happens against straight melee damage. That's going to be a problem. With that in mind, I'm going to skip past the Mad Alchemist for now. None of his attacks are physical, so we're going to have to get creative on how to finish him off. Luckily for us, the next few boss fights give us plenty of time to think about this problem. The Cyclops does 4 damage with every hit, but at least he's consistent. He's also pretty aggressive, so the fight doesn't last overly long. With him out of the way, I used the green key to skip past the False Jester and nab the Lamprey armor set. Fortunately, due to our long jumping, we already have the Shadow Flip brand, so we can get this armor earlier than normal. Unfortunately, it requires tier 4 heavy armor to use it. I wonder if the Thorn effect still works even if we aren't proficient. Nope, run away! At level 32, we can finally wear the complete armor set. And now we're over encumbered.
Why is this so hard?
Well, I might not be able to move, but we can still see if the damage is any good. Yeah, that'll do. Might actually be able to grind a bit now. Considering how much time I've already spent on this run though, let's just push forward. Running back down to the Jester, we test out our—
Holy shit, calm down!
As I was saying, we test out our new build. 8 damage and a little over 4 minutes later, and he goes down. Before we press on, let's reevaluate. Our damage is still pretty abysmal, and I don't think there's anything we can do to improve it. Upgrading my shield increases my defense, but not my damage. Charms? Nope, still don't do anything. What about upgrading the armor? Nope, looks like the same damage to me. So yeah, the only thing left to do in this run is to upgrade my shield to +7, then tape down my left trigger and beat the game. Theoretically. After grinding just enough to be able to actually move and roll with my shield out, we go after the worm. So fun fact number 1, fire still hurts. And fun fact number 2, if you die, you don't get your salt back. As you can see, I'm well below the salt line, but game says no. Cool. I grabbed the Phoenix Rondash so that I can block the fire attacks without worrying and give it another go. Turns out, you can actually switch between loadouts while blocking, which reduces the window where you aren't blocking to about half a second. I'm sure this technique will be super helpful to no one. Okay, how the hell did you get stuck? He's literally jumping up and down on the side platforms. And now the Thorn effect doesn't work. Come on, man, that's like 10 minutes of wasted effort. Thank you. You know what? Going through these boss battles was excruciating enough the first time around. Rather than relive each one and cause myself to get even less sleep than I already do, how about we speed this up and I'll tell you what you really want to know. Time for a montage. Up! Mind the shockwaves. If you jump as he's swinging, you can make sure that his fist hitbox hits you instead of the shockwave. His pistol shot does damage to him if you're close enough? Alright then. So just a heads up, you're gonna die to his minions at the end. Best just to accept that fact now. Tu fuerza es mi fuerza, my dude. Oh, calm down, it's just a tool. Rule number 2, remember? Oh my god, I forgot what fresh air tastes like. The air in here tastes like a beach of rotten fish.
Ha-ha! Kickflip!
Okay, that's a little too far, but I know it works over in the pitchwoods. What is with the glitches in this run? First the worm and now you? Oh my god, twice? There we go. God damn. What up, girl? You like rubber bands? Guess not. Okay, hold up. Let me catch my breath. Who do we have left? Alright, let's do some thinking. We can't damage the Mad Alchemist, Tree of Men, Dried King, or the Architect with thorns. And I can't reach Karstraw due to the last section of this platform puzzle not giving me enough time to get across with kickflips. Maul's Castle is the same way, with the last jump being just a little too far for me to reach. The only other way I can hurt bosses passively would be to reflect their own spells back at them with a shield. Unfortunately, I think there's only 2 shields that can do that, the Mirror Shield and the Bloodbrow Scutum. Both of these shields are only obtainable through transmutation, and that would require me to kill a Hornet Steel or a Whisper Lady respectively. And, since neither of them can take damage from thorns, that's it. Can you beat Sultan Sanctuary as a pacifist? No. But hold up. I've come a long way, and I've spent a lot of time on this run. It'd be a waste to just throw it all away. What if we change the goal? Can you beat every boss in Sultan Sanctuary as a pacifist? It's not as pure, but this might just finish the run for us. Due to enemies being fair game for regular damage, we can quickly snatch ourselves a Mirror Shield after some grinding. With Reflective Surface in hand, let's go after the Dried King, since he's barring us from a few other bosses.
Yes! Alright, now we just... wait.
1 damage? That's it? How much health does he have? 3,000. You want me to do 3,000 perfect parries against this monstrosity, all while taking fire damage every time I goof? Alright, give me a minute. Something doesn't feel right. Yep, there it is. His other fireball does about 19 damage to him. That makes a bit more sense. Still not great, but way better than 1 damage. That said, that's still about 158 parries. That's still an ungodly amount, but as the fight behind me shows, it's definitely more doable than I thought. His fireball is pretty easy to time, and so long as I'm picky about which attacks I go after, he'll go down eventually. I also put on some fire-resistant gear to make sure that any errors I make aren't fatal. Still, even with all that, it's pretty close. So, with double jump now within our grasp, let's push forward. Well, Karstraw is still Karstraw. Poor guy.
I have you now. Jesus wept.
And that's about as far as I can go. No, really, look. The Mad Alchemist, strangely, doesn't have any spells that could be reflected. I would have guessed the fireballs were fair game, but I guess not. You can't parry anything Maul throws at you, and her arcane swipes don't do thorn damage. Maybe you can parry a spell from her, and if you can, your best bet is the homing Soul Mass rather than her Skyfall attack due to it being easier to predict. But I can't seem to get it to work no matter how hard I try, so I'm chalking that one up to a no-go. The Tree of Men is just bupkis. I can't reflect or parry any damage onto his Hanged Men, so I can't even get past Phase 1. And, for science, I cheated for a hot minute to see if the tree itself can be damaged in Phase 2. It can't. Moving on to the Unskinned, it goes down nice and easy to thorns. This means that I can parry this spell here for the Architect, and, man, not even a single point of damage. She just acts like I gave her a spritz of lavender water. The Forgotten King, and friends, go pretty much the same way. The King and the Knight are easy enough, with the Ashen Effigy blocking every attack from all 3 of them with no issue. But the Judge doesn't take nothing from nothing. Well, at least Scourge should be doable. No, you're right, that attack clearly is just a shockwave and definitely not an enormous trident. How silly of me. Can I at least parry his lightning orb? No? Well, with that series of unfortunate events behind us, let's see how our friend the Nameless God is doing. It looks like Thorns is going to carry us to one final victory. I'll just rubber band my block button down and... You know, that seems like an appropriate end to this run. It wouldn't feel right to finish him off and then jump down the well at this point anyway. So there you go. Can you beat every boss in Sultan Sanctuary as a pacifist? That's a hard nope. But you never know until you try. Sometimes you just gotta run face first into a wall and see if it falls over, you know? Why are you looking at me like that? Is that not something people do?
Not normal people, no.
Oh. Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Before I share some new resources with you all, I'd love it if you gave the video a like and or subscribe to the channel. It really helps spread the videos to people that might not otherwise find it, and it lets me know that I'm doing a good job too. Thank you much. So, as you may notice if you look in the description below, I've decided to get some actual social media for you all to use at your leisure. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Is that what you do? Do you follow people on Twitter? Where I'll probably give updates about future videos and post anything cool that happens along the way. I'm also pretty active on the Salt and Sanctuary subreddit, so feel free to hit me up there, as well as the Salt and Sanctuary Discord channel. Both have great communities and are a good way to get questions answered, or just to share your love for the game. And if you're struggling with Salt and Sanctuary yourself, feel free to use my completely self-made wiki. It has everything you need, including stats, item maps, build testers, PDF books of all the lore, and a lot more. It's still a work in progress, so if there's something that's not on there that you need, just send me a message and I'll get you an answer. But I'm pretty proud of it, and I hope you find it useful. Finally, the real reason you stuck around this long, the next video's challenge run. Next time on Dragon Ball Z, we're going to find out if we can beat Salt and Sanctuary with only bows and crossbows. This run won by an overwhelming majority, and it doesn't sound as painful as some of the other runs I received, so look forward to that. And with that, I've got nothing left to ramble about. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.